Alright people, as you can see I am back in my little talking spot. This seems to be where I like to sit when I want to have a chit chat. So I'm going to continue talking about macro tracking because like I said, a few people are really interested in it and they want to learn more, and there's always more to learn about it, so much to talk about. So I'm going to start by talking about planning your food. So I know it can seem pretty hard to like plan foods to where the macros like exactly fit your macros. Like that's like sounds like a huge puzzle, and it's like pretty much Tetris trying to like make it work so you have enough carbs but not too much fat, like just to make it so it hits your macros pretty much. So one trick for when you're starting out is to, like, say you're low in carbs and you need more carbs to hit your macros. Try choosing foods that are predominantly like just carbs. So for example, oatmeal, apples, or I mean like fruits. I just love apples, so that just came to my head. So oatmeal, fruit, vegetables, sweet potato, bread, rice. Those are all options that are pretty much just carbs. And so when you add that to your FitnessPal or whatever you're using to track, it'll increase your carbs, but it won't ruin your fat or protein macros as much. An example for fat would be oils like coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil. Nuts and peanut butter, those are predominantly fat, but there are some carbs and protein in it, so that's not the best one. Avocado and stuff like that. And then for protein, like lean meats like chicken, turkey, protein powder. Most protein powders should just be protein with like, there might be 1 or 2 grams of carbs. So just look for foods that are just one macro source so that when you need to increase it, you're not gonna mess up your other 2 macros as well. Another tip when counting your macros is to volume eat. So so this is if you're cutting. So if you're trying to lose weight and maybe your calories are a little lower than you're used to, you're going to want to eat food that has lots of volume. So this would be like vegetables and fruits because they're low in calories, low in macros, but you can eat a lot of it. Like I said, I'm about to eat a salad that's huge. It's so big. So like shredded lettuce and spinach, that is so much volume and it's like no calories, and so you can eat so much of it and get full from that without using many macros at all. So the key is to volume eat. So like I said, I do salads, and if you've seen some of my other vlogs, you always see my oatmeal. So with my oatmeal, as opposed to using a full serving of oats and getting all those carbs, I do a half serving of oats, and then I add in shredded zucchini or squash, which has like no calories, to give it more volume without changing the flavor. And then I also add in an egg white, which makes it super fluffy and voluminous, again with only like 25 calories, and I add in protein powder for the protein. And that just makes it feel like you're eating so much more food, but the calories barely change because it's just being smart about your macros and eating voluminous foods. And so when you're starting to diet and you're getting kind of low in calories, that's what you're going to want to do. On the reverse side, if you are trying to gain weight or if you're trying to gain muscle and you're bulking, so you're eating in a caloric surplus, sometimes you kind of have to push the food kind of far to where you're eating an uncomfortably high amount of food. And if you try to eat voluminously and you eat all those vegetables, you're probably going to have too much fiber. You're just not going to feel good because you're feeling so full because you're eating big amount of foods. So this is where flexible dieting comes in and becomes fun, because as opposed to like maybe you already had your big salad but you still have to eat more food in order to gain your muscle or whatever you're trying to gain. So this is where you want to eat maybe less nutrient-dense foods but are more fun and higher in calories, so like a Pop-Tart or Oreos or like, you know, just the fun foods that are pretty high in calories but they won't fill you up that much, so that you don't feel overfull and that you don't feel super uncomfortable. So obviously you'll still want to get your nutrient-dense foods in, but this is just a way to where you don't have to feel terrible and like full all the time and just bloated. So this vlog is just kind of, it's going to be like different tips and tricks that I've learned when doing this. Another tip would be, so when you're trying to lose weight, when you're trying to cut, you want to slowly increase your slowly decrease your macros. You don't just want to like put them really low right away, because your body adjusts pretty quickly. So your body is going to adjust to this, and your metabolism will down regulate to that, and so then you'll just have to decrease them even more, and it's just going to be terrible because you'll be eating like no food. So when you want to start your cut, you want to slowly decrease your macros and try to maintain as long as you can on those macros before you have to cut them again, because like I said, your body gets used to the low calories, and soon you're not going to need as much food, and so you're going to have to cut calories even more in order for you to see progress, because eventually your body stabilizes at those calories and you're going to stall with your weight, and so you're going to need to decrease it again. But if you all of a sudden go for a big decrease, then you have nowhere to go. So if you were eating your maintenance calories and now you want to cut, and if you went a big decrease, then once your body regulates to that, you're not going to be able to go much further down because you're already so low in calories. So the key to cutting is to just slowly decrease it over time, and that's when like a coach comes in and will be really helpful, because you can check in with them, tell them how you're feeling, tell them your progress, and they'll know how much calories, how many macros to cut, and where to cut it from, and how quickly they need to cut it. Like I said, if you have questions about that, I can help you. Email me at megfitnessnutrition@gmail.com, because sometimes it's hard to be objective of yourself, and it's just easier to have an outside source looking in and telling you what to do. Same with gaining weight and gaining muscle. You don't always just want to increase your calories really high, because that'll make you susceptible to a lot of fat gain. Instead, you want to just slowly increase them so that you can minimize the amount of fat that you gain and have it be mostly muscle instead. Another key to when you're doing this is also try to look at your fiber. Especially when you're losing weight, it's important that you still eat a lot of fiber. I would recommend, or a general recommendation would be to eat about 14 to 15 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories that you eat. You just want to make sure your body is still functioning properly and your digestive system is still working well. And so, yeah, and then also when you're gaining weight, or when you're trying to gain weight, that's when you eat a lot of vegetables and stuff like that, you might be having too much fiber, so that may be an issue there. But usually when you're cutting, that won't be the problem. The problem will be not having enough fiber, so make sure that you really look out for that, and make sure if you're eating healthy foods, you're going to get enough fiber in your diet, but just be cautious of that. So yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video giving you a little bit more tips based off of questions that people have asked me. So like I said, if you have more questions about this or something that I haven't covered, just either email me like I said before, or you could just leave it in the comments below, and I will. What is my hair doing? Sorry, 9 hours at work, and this is the mess that we get. Okay. Anyways, just leave them in the comment below for what I should talk about in my next macro video, or if it's something simple I could just answer right there. Or again, you can email me. My email is always in the description box, so just let me know. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more of this cute face. Just kidding. Okay, bye.